The views expressed in this podcast, Champ and Tramp, belong to the host and guest, not the Champ and Tramp podcast itself. It's intended for entertainment information, so please use discretion. We're not responsible for any outcomes resulting from the content discussed. Hey guys, we've been telling you about these Slammin' RTDs from Carnivore. Right here, you can get a 3-pack from $9.99. These are the cleanest and best RTDs on the market. 40 grams of protein, 0 fat, 0 sugar, and 0 lactose.
I'm holding my favorite flavor right here, chocolate. All the flavors are amazing, but chocolate, always my favorite, my go-to. You can check them out. Go to musclemedsrx.com to order yours today.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, FE. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. We're never tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the champ and the tramp, let the bomb blast.
What's up, bro? We got my man CJ LaFragola, right?
LaFragola?
LaFragola.
Well, close enough, close enough.
LaFragola. No, he's a teammate of mine, Brown University grad, current assistant coach at Drexel University, amateur, undefeated amateur?
Yes, sir. 2-1 right now.
2-1 right now as a pro, fighting April 13th,
CFFC.
Coming up.
Yeah. Got a lot of guys fighting on that card.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got our boys. We got Mark, I call it we're the only MMA team with 2 Ivy Leaguers.
Look at that.
I think
Look at that.
That's got to be something, right?
Yeah, he definitely went to school of wrestling.
And then we got our Dante's squad with us, so.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I feel like for you wrestling guys, and wrestling's a whole world in and of itself, right? That I don't know much about because my high school didn't offer it. We had like fly fishing and log rolling up there. But anyway, your choices are limited. If you wanna pursue your career as an athlete, it's kind of limited. You can go into coaching, right? I mean, Sebastian's kind of facing this now too, right? Mm-hmm. MMA is always an option, but a lot of guys don't like getting punched in the face. So at what point did you know that was an option for you? Where you wanted to get in there and showcase some other talents other than just your wrestling?
Yeah, I actually face it. I see it all the time so we got the PRTC guys over at Drexel, like Jordan Burroughs trains with us, and they always like dabble with the idea of like, oh, maybe I'll do the fighting and stuff. Like he's obviously Olympic, whatever, but like a lot of those guys that are kind of on the way, trying to figure out, like they might not even be the team member for the USA team. It's like to do that, to be an Olympic team member, there's like 6 guys out of the whole country. Right. It's like
and there's
the
only
best of the best.
That's
there's
what
one
people
spot.
don't understand. Like in fighting, you could be the top 20 can make a living in fighting. In wrestling, you got to be the best guy every year, and you got to wrestle off that spot every year. It's tough.
Oh, you would think just the top 20? I would think it's even a bigger.
Probably more. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I got
exactly. Yeah. So it's like for me personally, like I obviously that is one route, right? You can go the Olympic way, the senior level route, which I've wrestled some of those tournaments just for why not? Like put the singlet on, have some fun. I did the U.S. Open a couple times just to give it a whirl, but it wasn't like never was a goal of mine to try to be an Olympic team member or something. Right. I just kind of did it for, hey, my kids are out here wrestling. It'll be cool to wrestle with them.
Yeah. See, Uriah Faber's kind of going back to that, right?
Yeah,
you got into a couple wrestling tournaments recently.
He did a tournament during like the
he did the Masters
Fight
level
Expo
too. Like
it was during the Fight Expo, I think.
I think my mic just cut out again. No, I'm back in. All right.
Yeah, him and Clay Guida did like the Masters division.
Yep.
So like they have like different levels like with the age groups and stuff. So like once you hit like I think it's like an over 35 or something, where like those guys.
That's cool to see those guys always staying active though. You know what I mean? I mean those. Uriah's got to be is your age, what, early 40s?
He's a little older than me. Yeah. A couple of years, I think.
But yeah, for me, it's funny. It took a weird route. I mean, I was always intrigued by MMA. Growing up. I mean, watching you growing up and just watching a lot of different fighters growing up. It's always fun to watch. And then during my time at college, Steve Mako's brother went to Brown, Joe Mako. Okay. So he had brought Steve up a few times. We had actually gone down to top team a lot. So like back when Covington was still at top team, I used to like roll around with him a lot. He actually came up to Brown a few times and would like help me with just wrestling stuff. And I'm like, so at first I kind of got introduced with just the wrestling side. Like I would go down to top team, wrestle with some of the guys, roll around. And then like the more you're around it, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, and like it's intriguing. And then like I really didn't start sparring though until after like my grad year when I came into Knicks. Like after COVID is when I really got into like full MMA. But I was definitely interested in the idea of it during college. So especially going down, seeing all the guys at like ATT, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like a bunch of killers down here. And like once I felt like I can like roll with these guys, at least with the wrestling side, I'm like, hey, maybe I can figure out the other side of stuff. I'm an athlete. Like, you know, I could figure out how to hit a baseball. Maybe I can figure out how to throw a punch. So it's like I kind of like, doing a lot of sports growing up, I think kind of like correlated pretty well for me transitioning.
You play baseball too, right?
Yeah, baseball, football.
Yep.
So like I was crazy. I did my grad year at Sacred Heart. I actually played football, and I was playing baseball until it got canceled with COVID. So I was able to at least play all three in college a little bit, which is cool. But I did all three growing up in like high school, and I played whatever I could. And
how old
little
now?
kid,
How old are you?
26.
26. Poppy, bro.
That's crazy. I remember being 26 and thinking dudes my age now are fucking old men. You know what I mean?
Well,
now,
you are fucking
I don't,
old, bro.
Hey, bro, you ain't far away from me, pal. You ain't far away.
I'm not saying that.
Listen, just because of that statement you made about going to top team and rolling with Colby Covington, I mean, poses the obvious question.
He didn't check your oil, did he? No.
Did you get to know him personally at all? I mean, they say, remove the persona, which he's an absolute douchebag. We talk about him quite often. Like, how do you get to that level of douchebaggery? You just cross so many lines. But they say, outside of that, he's a pretty nice dude. Did you get to see that side of him at all, or no?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill his persona, but no, he's definitely
But you
like.
also saw him before he kind of got, or was this his persona back then too?
Yeah,
he was a different person.
There was a switch. Yeah.
Yeah, he I mean obviously the big one was the Damian Maia fight. He kind of had. He was kind of put on the line. It's like, hey.
Is that where he talked all the shit about Brazil?
That was the one where he's the filthy animals, that whole thing. Yeah, in Brazil. And that was kind of where he was like, it's a crossroad here. It's like, yeah, I'm winning fights, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not just putting, selling pay-per-views or whatever. So it's like that was the one where I think he had to kind of put a line in the sand and kind of go a different way. But, behind the scenes, I mean, the dude, he's legit, like in my opinion, like he just, always takes care of me when I go down there. Like I actually been down there pretty recently, back in the summer, like kind of later summer last year. I went down to like Miami, check it out. I was actually in West Palm Beach, and then I trained with him in Miami because I got family down there. But he's super down to earth to me, and like open doors at all times. Like, dude's crazy on the social media,
right.
Hey, man, that's part of the
Listen,
game, right?
Love him or hate him. As a fighter, you can't take anything away from that dude. He's a phenom fighter. I mean, I think his last fight he was off step, but I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, you hear a little buzz in your ears?
I do hear a little buzz, yeah.
I don't know right? You hear a little buzz in your ears?
I'm not hearing too much. It's a little low on mine.
Oh, you might be down on there because we didn't have a guest last time, so.
Oh, whatever that.
You're back in.
Yeah, you hear a buzz though, right?
There's a little buzz. As long as you don't pick it up and post, I don't give a shit. I can deal with it, but.
Yeah, all right, cool.
That's a lot better, whatever you just did. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, but
I mean, you would agree.
Regardless of what that he's.
You would agree that as a fighter, I'm not saying you're a fan. I'm just saying you can't take anything away.
No,
from
he's tough.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's good. I mean, you don't fight Kamaru Usman that close and not be a good fighter.
Right.
You don't make it to the title that many times and not be a good fighter.
Right.
Yeah, he's good, very good.
Yeah, I mean, like the first time I rolled with him and stuff was just strictly wrestling, and I'm like, wrestling's a 7-minute match. You guys at the time, like I never did a fight before. I was like, you guys are doing 25-minute fights sometimes, the championship fights. I'm like, man, 7 minutes for this guy. I get to like the 5-minute mark in like a wrestling match. I'm like, dang, I'm tired, and this dude's just starting to warm up.
Yeah,
that's the first round for him. He's like,
tank,
so like 7 minutes compared to the 25. I was like, dang, man, this dude's gas tank's a joke. My dad used to be like, man, what do you take? You taking something like some sort of like blood flow, something to keep like the lactic acid out? He's like, nah, I just like, dude's just naturally gifted with a tank, man.
Some people just have that, yeah.
People got motors.
I'm like, what's your training method? That's how I always go with. I'm like, what can I do to like, match that? I mean, you can always work.
You're only 26. Have you been an MMA fan like your whole life, or?
Honestly,
your short life.
I always
very short life. So
yeah, I mean, I always enjoyed watching MMA and stuff. Growing up, it was football and baseball was actually.
You grew up where? Little Egg Harbor down south.
Yeah. Little Egg. Yeah, I actually grew up like when I was real little. I would have been a Mustang if I like stayed in Brick forever. Like, until like maybe like second grade or so, and then I went over. Okay. We went south because we had like family down there. But Yeah, I've been Jersey Shore, this area the whole time. That's kind of how we knew Catone. My mom teaches at Brick.
Okay.
She's over at Memorial now. She was at Old Brick, so we're still like connected to this area through and through. You know.
Right.
Jersey cranks out athletes, that's for sure, especially fighters. Yeah. So you're welterweight. Who would you say as a fan who's the greatest welterweight of all time?
Oh, that's a tough question. I know because Dana was just saying Usman was like he was kind of giving him the crown, but I mean it's hard, man. I mean,
give me top three then. Give me top three.
I mean,
make it a little easier.
I'm still like a huge GSP fan. I still stick by that a little bit. You know, I mean, Usman, you can't knock what he accomplished. Like, I mean, he did run the gauntlet. He fought pretty much everybody in that top tier. But yeah, I mean, I'm always a GSP fan through and through. I mean, I think I'd probably have to pick him as 1, Kamaru 2, and then 3. It kind of like gets wishy-washy.
Come on, give me a 3. Give me 3.
And then you're gonna go next, Frankie.
Give me 3.
3. Dude, I'm drawing a blank. I mean,
come on, bro. You're fucking welterweight.
I mean, there's I just.
Come on, how about the guy that put wrestling on the map? One of the guys that put wrestling on the map. Come on, Rod. You don't know?
Put wrestling on the map. The first guy was the guy
70-pounder
that you went to Clarion with.
No.
What's his name? Koscheck, right? Koscheck?
No, well, yeah, he was good, but no, he's not number 3.
Tyron Wood? No.
Tyron Woodley. He could be on
he's in
that
the
number.
argument.
He's in the argument for sure.
Come on. I'm drawing a blank.
Farm boy, bro. Come on.
Oh, Matt Hughes.
Hughes,
dude. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
He had his moment, man.
Yeah.
He did. He was running through dudes.
Yep.
He was.
Obviously, he was very early. But he has a win over GSP. He has a win over BJ Penn.
Yep.
You know,
GSP's only lost twice, right? Sarah and Matt. That's it. I mean, Sarah and Hughes.
Matt and Matt.
Yeah, Matt and Matt.
Matt.
He's got a weakness for the Matts.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, would you? Those top 3 you would agree with?
Yeah, I mean, right there. You know, it's all preference. The whole pound for pound thing is all case by case and preference. You know what I mean? It's kind of made up stuff. But GSP and Kamaru, I think it could go right. You know, right. Boom, boom, 1-1.
There was something about watching GSP fight. He just had just something exciting about seeing
a little
that dude.
flashy, right?
Yeah.
You know,
his post fight speeches were always epic, and remember he got down on
entertained by your performance.
Yeah, he got down on his knees like, Dana, please, please,
do I have to beg for a title? I will beg for a title.
Almost as good as the Virginia governor. Almost as good. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I'm not a fighter, but I am a fan. I think I would definitely agree with that. I can't believe I kind of forgot about Matt Hughes there for a second, but
yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, then obviously, I mean, I gotta bring up my boy. I mean, Colby's up there in the argument. I think a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. He can't be in the argument over a champion.
Yeah,
right.
No, that's true.
Usman,
I mean, he's got the interim. He got the interim belt in that one.
Interims don't count.
No,
Bro.
don't count.
Interims don't
Come
count.
on. But yeah, I mean, and he beat Woodley, but it was like one of Woodley's last fights there. It might have been.
Yeah.
Was that his last fight in the UFC? That one when he
I don't know. Woodley lost a couple towards the end.
Yeah, but so at least he beat some former champs.
Do you feel like
He's
that's
good? Don't get me wrong.
Is that universally felt that interims don't count?
I don't know. They're just
I think
they're not real.
Gaethje threw his down in the ring when he got his.
I
right?
mean, it's pretty much a number 1 contender belt.
Right.
That's what it makes it.
What about the BMF? Where do you put that?
It's just like
a gimmick belt.
Yeah,
or?
it's a gimmick belt.
Yeah.
It's a cool gimmick belt.
It is cool.
It is a gimmick belt.
I mean,
but
listen, bro. Who just fought for it? Well, Gaethje and
it's Gaethje
Dustin
and
Poirier
Poirier,
fought
yeah.
for it. Damn, those two are some of the baddest motherfuckers.
They really
Gaethje and Holloway are about to fight for it. I mean,
That's-
shit, some bad motherfuckers, you know.
Well, I mean, I feel like I mean, at what point, like at least that fight is declared kind of like a BMF fight, but I feel like, like Masvidal had it and like he lost, like and he didn't have to give up his BMF belt like after he got.
Who did he lose to though?
Was that when he fought Colby? Did he have the BMF belt at the time? Or was that before or after?
That was probably before, right?
Even when he beat Nate
fought-
for it, it was because of a cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah.
They didn't really get to finish that
Yeah,
fight.
but
He was
on.
he was beating his
yeah.
brakes
Yeah.
off him. He was, but you can never count Nate out.
No,
ever,
hell no,
ever,
hell
you know?
no.
I mean, that's crazy. He almost beats Leon at the end there. If he
Yeah,
didn't
I know,
flick him off.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. If he went after him,
He
who
did.
knows what happened?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Leon's good though, bro. He's
better than
he's good.
He's better than I thought. He's better than I gave him
That
credit.
surprised me.
good.
I mean, he's taken down Colby and he's taken down.
He's not very big, dude. He's not huge. Like,
Yeah.
his brother fought this weekend in the same locker room, and Leon's cool, super cool guy, and he's not that big. You know, you would think he's, some of these guys are huge.
He's tall though, right? Was he like
I mean, he's
6'2"?
tall, he's long, but he's not like a massive looking dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
It's funny how, people can fill out differently. I mean, and some guys are really big for their weight class, and some guys just aren't. Some guys barely make that weight class, And some guys, at the same weight, I mean, obviously we're talking about at weigh-in because fight day they could weigh, 20 pounds more, right?
Yeah.
But on the scale, some guys just look way bigger.
Yeah.
Piera being one of them.
Oh, God.
That dude is just a monster.
Well, I never played around with the.
looks and is bigger.
I mean, the weight cutting is still. I mean, I'm still figuring it out myself at this point. I mean, I wrestled 184 in college. I hit 74 my freshman year. I did it for like a couple matches, but I'm like, I'm not doing that week in and week out. So like, I wrestled at 84, did all the amateur ones at 85, and I mean, this will only be my fourth time hitting 70 since I always joke. I'm like, man, I wrestled 170 in high school, but that was the last time I was 70 before the fighting. But like, yeah, like that's still like every time I do it, it's like a new. I mean, I'm getting better at it. You know what I mean, like anything with practice, you're getting better at doing it.
At the cut.
But like the whole manipulation.
How do you do your cut? Like, how do you do it?
I've been kind of like doing a version of the water and the salt. Cutting the salts, cutting the carbs, loading up the water. The first time I did it, Cory's like Cory Anderson. He's like, dude, you gotta trust it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's very.
I was scared.
Scary
a little bit.
for a wrestler. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's we always cut our water out. Weigh less than the next day. Cut down a little bit more. You got to weigh your food, weigh your drinks.
He's like, nope, you better
Totally
do
different,
it. He's
yeah.
like, I'm like, all right. He's like, you can't half, because that's one of those things. If you
Yeah.
half it,
Yeah,
like you
then you
half-ass
should,
it, you're like, it's worse. You're just making it harder on yourself.
right.
So it's like,
Yep.
you gotta like, so like the second time I definitely did it better, and like this last time it's always, I mean, no matter what, the last pound and a half is still sucky, but it's just like, I know I can do it now, so like I feel more comfortable doing it. But I mean, even for me, I fought at like 190 too, though. I mean, I made 171.
Put 20 on.
Yeah.
You had a very different experience with that, Frankie. I mean, you almost had to wait for a division to open up for you to get in because you didn't weigh enough. You never, in the beginning, the early days.
Well, I mean, by the time I was like fighting, the UFC had brought back 55 though. I mean, by the time I was.
But you never had
pro,
to actually do a weight cut.
Yeah, I never did a weight cut at that point.
At that point.
I mean,
yeah.
I did it in college, but never
Right.
And I don't even know that. Honestly, that water loading stuff kind of came late. I don't know if guys are doing that early on.
Yeah. Do you feel like? I mean, there's two ways to look at that. Some people feel like fighting at your natural weight is better. Other people feel like cutting weight, you come in stronger, obviously. And now that they changed, right? Didn't it used to be you had to make weight the morning of? Now you can do it the night before, right? So you have 24 hours to put the weight.
No, always the night before.
Was it always?
I mean,
No,
that's
it
it's
used
like-
to be. You weighed in like 4 o'clock, right? On say we fought Saturday night. I weighed in 4 p.m. Friday. Now we weigh 9 a.m. Friday.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys are like UFC is like 30 hours by the time you
Yeah,
fight.
more,
If not,
30,
yeah, like I mean, even
depending where you fight at. Yeah.
we were around like 4 or 5 o'clock. CFFC. It
They
varies
did
on
like the old way, like UFC.
yeah, like it varies on the state. To be honest, like when I was in
Right.
Tampa, it took forever to weigh. And I was losing my mind. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like ready to
But
rock.
that's something you need to take in consideration. I mean, like right now, you probably get your last bit of weight off the day of weigh-ins, correct?
Yeah, I've made that. I mean,
Or you try to get most of it off the night before.
I get like nervous, bro. So I like.
try to get off the night before.
I get a lot of it off, and then I'm like the day of maybe 2 pounds.
Yeah,
I try
right.
to do like 2, which I got. That's
Sometimes
what I really.
when you have a weigh-in at 9 a.m., it's tough to your body don't want to sweat in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good to get as far. I try to get down on flat weight so I can drink a little bit and then go to bed.
That's the hardest thing. That
What's-
night before trying to sleep. Like,
What's the best way to do that? Like a rubber suit and a sauna? That day of?
Well, it depends what your torture of choice is. you know?
yeah.
Some people like to put a rubber suit on and do work. Like I would do work, and then I would sit in the sauna. Like I would never just sit in the sauna. Some guys just like sitting in the sauna. Some guys just like sitting in the bath. I do work, get my work first, and then I finish in the sauna. That's how I used to do it.
I remember seeing it was Clay Guida's older brother, who's a big dude. They had to drag him out of the sauna because he couldn't get the last weight. Remember, he was just so depleted. It was in the
Ultimate Fighter Show, right?
Ultimate
Yeah,
Fighter
yeah,
Show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
And he
I
couldn't
don't
make
like when I want to try maybe in the future or whatever, maybe even this time like that. Pop your head out of the thing, like the little tent, because that's my biggest thing. When my head gets like
Yeah. And you can-
overheated, I'm like, that's when I start to kind of.
You can order those off Amazon and put them right in your bedroom.
Yeah,
they take
like,
up no space.
I'm
It's not
curious.
like a
Well,
sauna.
what you got to do too is you got to condition yourself for the sauna. So if you want to use the sauna, you should be going to the sauna now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
not for
Hydrated.
like
Yeah.
not for cutting water just for recovery, and you'll get used to that heat adaptation.
Yeah, so that's the perks. I mean, I got a cool setup. One of the alumni at Drexel owns a dope. My apartment complex is part of the deal at coaching there. So like Post Brothers hooks it up at the Piazza, it's called, and I got like the whole gym, sauna, all that.
Yeah, you
so
should be hitting the sauna every day.
I pretty much like if I do like a run, any cardio, I finish in the sauna. Yeah. It's like clutch. It's sick.
That'll help for when you want to use the sauna for your weight cut.
For sure. Yeah.
What, do you have a fight coming up?
Yeah, April 12th.
April 12th.
Yeah.
I missed it. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I missed that.
I'm just saying.
Who are you fighting?
Kevin Pease. So he's
Kevin Pease.
Yeah.
Kevin Pease.
So he I mean, be exciting. You know, both wrestling background. You know, base.
Okay.
It's like a more grappling. So I look forward to it. You know, it'll be a good matchup.
He's more a wrestler, right? Wrestling base.
Yeah. He
doing any where he wrestled or anything like that.
College wise, I think it was a D2 school, but still, you know, good gym. He trains out of that Killcliff a lot of times,
Okay.
so it's like I know he has good guys rolling with. So he's rolling with some of the top dudes, and you know, at this level, you know, MMA wrestling.
Doesn't Richie?
So it's like
Richie
Richie
Savage
Lewis?
doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't he train out of Killcliff?
He
Yeah,
does.
he's down there
He trains a little
sometime.
bit everywhere down there.
They got a lot of wrestlers down there. I mean, like Jordan Oliver's been in that room, in and out. The one dude from Bellator, Storley, I think, was in there. So
Chandler
I mean,
used to be there.
yeah,
a bunch.
even
Kamar used to be there.
Gilbert's down there, so
right,
like
right.
I mean, when he does, I don't know if this. I don't think he trains there all the time, but when he trains there, I mean, there's plenty of guys to roll with. But you know, it's a good matchup in my opinion. If it's wrestling versus wrestling, you know, I believe in my style, you know, and you know, it's good. The kid's 4-0, you know, but CFFC was looking to give him a title shot at one point, so I don't know even what happened with that. He was actually supposed to fight either Eric or the kid I lost to, and the kid who Alonzo, who I lost to, I got caught in a submission, but he was supposed to fight, I think, Pease, but I don't know what happened with the CFFC. I don't know if it was just negotiations or whatnot, but like even at that fight in December when they fought, Pease was on the ringside and they had like the teleprompter underneath of him was like CFFC 170 champ. They were saying he was the champ, basically trying to hype it up for like a next title fight. So like, I mean, it's a good opponent to, you know, go for, you know. It gives you a good opportunity to you know, make a step. So
Now you signed with CFFC? You have like a exclusive with them?
I mean, right now I've been doing one-ofs, you know,
One-offs,
one-on-ones, but I mean, I prefer fighting for CFFC right now. I mean, in my
They're good
opinion, it's
really,
like
really
build your
well-run
resume.
promotion.
I'm on Fight Pass right now. I mean, you can't beat the promotion
They
give you.
run the show really well. Burt Watson kind of showed them the ropes.
Yeah. I mean, and then fighting in the AC. You know, obviously that's home. You know, states. I've been growing up my whole time. You know, whole life been training for AC. So like, it just feels right. You know, I've been watching people fight in AC. And I was always an Arturo Gatti fan growing up. So it's like, come on, I got to cheer for that. You know, fighting in AC, Boardwalk. I'm not in Boardwalk Hall, but I think of that. Like that's my same mindset with wrestling. So fighting in the Hard Rock, sick. This will be my second time fighting there. So that's a big thing for me. It's like comfort. Like I fought at 2300 a couple times over in Philly. It's like whenever I fight in the same place, I just like the more I can fight and remember what it's like in that arena or in that you know, even the locker room. Like, you know the vibes, you know what to expect. Like when I fought in Tampa, it was like a weird vibe.
You gotta get used to that though,
Yeah,
boy.
oh for sure. But it's like the more you can benefit from it, like
Sure,
I
yeah.
take advantage of it when I can.
Absolutely,
Especially like we got our whole team. You know, it'd be
Yeah, that's
me.
comfort when you got everybody there. It feels like a Saturday morning at Nicotone.
Yeah, it's gonna be me, Eric. You got Nick fighting, Luke's fighting. We got Mark now. I was pumped. Mark got added to the card. I mean, basically all of our boys are in
Mark
there.
Ray?
You should come down that
Mark
night.
Gray.
It's April 12th.
Nate, yeah. I actually got a ticket, but I got the kids. Maybe I can get a babysitter, but possibly. I got a ticket for it already, but we'll see what happens. I might be able to get a sitter.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, as a young fighter, right? I mean, we're talking about climbing the ladder to reach that pinnacle. I mean, you a lot of times, like when Conor McGregor's came on the scene, friends of Frankie would get in his ear and be like, dude, be more like that guy, talk shit, you know what I mean? Get bigger fights, get bigger paydays. He's like, bro, I've been doing this too long. I can't change my persona to be this alter ego halfway through my career. It would make no sense. He's like, and I'm just not built that way anyway. I'm not going to act like that. Do guys like that, I don't want to say inspire, but do you see acting that way or you know, having a flashy outside the ring persona as a way to build your to get like maybe a UFC contract quicker, sooner? Or are you more like Frankie, like, fuck that, I'm just going to be me, be myself, and not change for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like,
we were just talking about a guy that did it too, Colby, right?
The way the world here is social media, right? Like people, if you got a following, that's definitely going to, I think, up something, whether it be sponsorship or getting you into the show maybe a little quicker. I think, part of that, you see some of these guys that already have a good background in wrestling, like a Bo Nickel, right? I mean, that dude's world class already.
He's got a little persona to him. I mean, he talks a lot of shit. He calls out everybody, and
but so like
confidence.
He's very confident.
So like he's got his little persona, but I mean he proved it already, right? So it's like you can't let him fight like 4 fights in CFFC and then go. I mean, he already has, like, no one's gonna fight that guy at this level. But I think it is important to kind of build that. I'm not saying be a Conor McGregor or like a Colby Covington, but like for me, like I'll never, to go that route, but it's like I think being a positive, good speaker, if you can get on camera and talk a little bit, I think it definitely goes a long way. And I think like my whole thing is I'll never like flip the script on somebody and try to be like a punk. That's not how I was raised. I'm still gonna give that honest, straightforward opinion of myself and trying to be positive, but also like, hey, like you said, confidence is good, right? Like I think they look for that, so it's like. You want to be confident, but like at the same time, I'm not going to come out and like start talking shit unless somebody starts talking shit at me, Like I'm not going to be that guy who like sets the pace for that. But like you said, I mean, you see people go make jumps just because of like
huge jumps.
Yeah, like one video on like a social media, you get a viral clip or something. It's like, I mean, we're talking about social media now. We got the Paul brothers, right? I mean, this dude's fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah. Making him how many millions of dollars on Netflix just because you
can't hate on that guy. I can't hate on that guy
you know what I'm saying? So it's like he's doing it in a sense, but I mean making his own path. Right. But it's like because he's got a face, he's got a name, and he can speak, and people are intrigued by it. So you got to. I mean, WWE is part of UFC now, right? They're the same ownership, so it's like.
I mean, CM Punk. I remember everybody was like so mad that CM Punk, got a shot in the UFC and this and that, and. I'm like, and I get it because, like, say you're a, up and coming fighter, you're fucking busting your ass, you're fighting good competition, you're doing this, doing that, and this guy who really hasn't fought anybody gets a spot in the UFC. I was like, but he did something in his life that people give a shit to either see him win a fight or get his ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like he did something in his life to be of importance. That matters. That holds weight. And obviously, what it seems like we're talking about, that might hold more weight than actually being good at fighting. Yeah. Which is unfortunate because
it's the world we live in, though.
I mean, as a competitor, you want to be judged for your skills and how much of performance and how much heart you put out there, not your following, not how many people are yelling for you.
I agree, but again, two ways to look at that. If you just want to be the best fighter in the world, then sure, be yourself. If you want to get paid. And your focus is making money.
No,
then there's an advantage.
I think you can try to find. There's such a big fan base in this sport. There's a niche for everybody. There's a niche for the holy guy, right? There's a niche for the big, the
holy guy
smack talker.
Doesn't make Conor money. Though.
Maybe not. No. But I mean, he's not going to hell either.
You're going to go full Bryce Mitchell, right? Just get the whole sermon on
Dude, I'm a Bryce Mitchell fan. He's a little out there. Him and our friend Jesse would get along great. Yeah. And I'm not saying, listen, man, I'm at a stage in my life where I think almost anything's plausible, but he's still, the flat earth stuff and all that. I'm not convinced yet. But as an American and as a human and as a fighter, I fucking love that dude, bro. Yeah. I love Bryce Mitchell.
No, he's great.
No, he's a dog, too.
He's great, bro.
Yeah. What was your major in college?
So I studied at Brown. I was business and entrepreneurship. So like they don't have they're super like liberal arts. Like my dad always jokes, he's like, man, you got through that college, staying kind of staying conservative because like they would like if they had something to protest, like they would protest. But it's like it's definitely all the athletes kind of stuck together, and then there was everybody else. So like we actually like at one point in the local the school newspaper they were like. All athletes should be gone. They hated us to an extent.
They hate anything to do with fitness. They think
they want him. They want him to go out for the girls' volleyball team.
Exactly. So the
MMA thing doesn't work out. You could always take up. You just claim that you're your transition. You could be the top athlete in whatever sport you pick.
Yeah. So I got a plan there. But so I did. They don't have a business school, but they have a well-rounded program. So it's business entrepreneurship and organizations is what it was called. But it was pretty much well-rounded business. You learn marketing, all that, everything. It wasn't like I did just finance or whatever. So I did the business there, and then I did my master's at Sacred Heart. That's when I did the football and the baseball after the 4 years of wrestling. And I did sports media there, so that was cool. I was kind of upset that it got cut short because of COVID. The program was an accelerated program. So I like they had like their own little studio and stuff. So we would do like a mock sports show. Like I got a couple clips doing like ESPN stuff. It felt like and like. Our professor is actually pretty cool. Brian Thorne, his name is, and he's like a producer on like he used to do Bellator. Actually, he was one of the head producers when it was like in Connecticut a lot. They fought in I forget the arena was up there, but like he would produce like the whole
right?
the whole show. Whenever it was in like Mohegan Sun too, like he would do like he would produce a lot, and it was a cool program because you got to do like all kinds of stuff. So I did like the speaking stuff, but then like they taught us the behind the scenes. Even at one point they had me holding the camera and stuff. So it was like cool to learn some different skills, just like. You never know what you're gonna end up doing.
Do you have any I mean, obviously, we know what the goal is. Make it in this fighting career. But do you have any other aspirations other than that? Other than fighting?
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of crazy ideas, but I mean, like in terms of like, I think they're
not crazy. Right?
Not crazy,
they're not
right?
crazy.
Hey, I mean, when I say, I mean, like,
if they're not crazy, they're not good ideas. How about that?
That's true. I like that. I mean, I never want to, like, I always joke, I've been busting Todd's chops at Frazier. I'm like, yo, you got to get in me or get me a tryout, bro. Like, because I still have, like, I feel like I, like, never got that opportunity, but, like, right now I'm all in on fighting, so it's, like, going to be hard to, like, bounce around to other sports, but I'm always open.
He's doing commentating now, right? For what?
For Yes.
Yeah, so, like, that's always, like, something I'm interested in, for sure. I mean, like, I got a little bit of training, like, a little taste of it, and, it'd be a great transition, right? I got a background technically in all three sports, I did them all at not the highest level, but pretty high level. Wrestling, in my opinion, at the highest level. I wrestled in the NCAA tournament 3 times. So, like, I've been a part of that. But, like, at least I played college football and stuff. So, I got experience at a couple different ones. So, it's like I've been around it. I've been around some players who are, like, in the NFL now. So, it's like it'll be cool to definitely, like, kind of keep that route going, stay in sports. I mean, that's why I'm kind of how I got into coaching with college wrestling. I started out with COVID ending, I was doing like project managing for like construction, which it wasn't right there. I mean, I was doing good with Ryan Holmes. I was like doing the home builder stuff, and it was good, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do.
He knows John Holmes.
Yeah.
I'm not that old, buddy.
But like Ryan Holmes stuff was cool, but I'm like, once I got, one of the Matt, our coach from Drexel, Azevedo, gave me a call one day. I'm like, oh, I can go coach wrestling and be around, the guys and impact people's lives like that.
And you're still helping your MMA career doing that.
Like, I roll with the guys almost every day, which is good. So it's like I'm staying active in wrestling, staying active in my craft, and it's kind of cool having like a team still again. Yep. Like when I was doing the other stuff, it was like, I had the the construction team, but they're not focused on the same goals there. Right. And so I feel like the kids look at me like, oh, he's fighting, he's pursuing something similar. Obviously it's not a wrestling match, but they get excited, and then it flips around. Like I get excited for them, so it's like it's cool. We kind of work together with it.
Yep. I feel like that's where you're at in your career now. You're all about fully investing in the next generation, and your son obviously, and potentially raising some champions. Or training.
I was kind of in his position pretty much at your age. I mean, I was just got in UFC. I was coaching at Rutgers, and juggling fighting. So
yeah. I was being a plumber.
Yeah. Well, that was. I mean, I think I was doing plumbing and Rutgers for a little bit. Then that's my third fight in UFC, so I was able to kind of just focus on that. But I still was coaching at Rutgers for a couple of years.
I see guys like on on the Ultimate Fighter show and stuff. They interview them and they have no other plan. They have not. They burn the boat. They burn the ships. You know what I mean? They're like, I got nothing after them. One of them was the blonde-haired kid. He actually sucked. He talked talking about guys that talk shit. What was his name? Joni or
Junie Brown.
Remember him?
Junie Browning or something.
Yeah, he was all upset at the end. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This was it. This was my everything.
Wasn't he the guy like hit me? No, someone was like, hit me. He got knocked out.
No, that was. He's actually great over in Bare Knuckle now. That was. Fuck. How did he?
No. You said not Julian Lane.
That was Julian Lane. He got Julian Lane got knocked out.
No, some other guy said like hit me, like they was like it's okay, hit me, like they were saying hit me.
It was like hit me, bro, hit me or something like that.
No,
right?
he said let me bang. Bro.
Yeah, let me bang,
bro.
Yeah, that's it. But you're saying Julian didn't get knocked out? He did get knocked out
in a fight.
No,
I'm talking, or maybe in the show. Maybe no, I'm saying this guy was like hit me, like it's okay, hit me, like he wanted me to hit.
Oh that was out by the pool. Yeah,
no anger, Yeah. I forget who it was though.
What do you think about that? Like the whole bare knuckle thing, and now they got the bare knuckle MMA. I mean, I joke around. I'm like, shoot, I wouldn't mind being able to not have gloves on. Like if you.
I mean, that's the most purest form, right?
I think the bare knuckle boxing is a little wild, but
it is. It's tough. I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it. You know,
Well, it's exciting to watch,
intriguing,
man.
right? Yeah, I mean that's
feel
what we're
like
talking about, right?
I'll just put some. It's like you're guaranteed to get cut. You know?
Forget
Oh,
it
yeah.
with me, bro. I'll be like,
I get cut normally. Never mind.
And there are guys that did well in the UFC, but have gone over there. Mike Perry, dude. I mean, that
He's
dude
like
is
the
a
king at it,
fucking
though.
king.
I mean,
No, I think the king is who's the heavyweight dude. He's really good. He's scary as fuck to watch him fight. Lorenzo Hunt.
Yeah.
He's fucking scary.
Well, I
bro.
mean, like
he's scary.
when I saw Perry was gonna fight Rockhold, I'm
Yep.
like Rockhold's gonna kill him.
I thought the same.
I'm
I
like,
thought the
Luke,
same,
you know,
bro.
but like once he got in there and got like his tooth knocked out
Yep,
or something,
yep.
he was like,
Yeah, but I feel like Luke didn't
fully commit.
Yeah.
I just thought size wise, like that's what I was looking at. Like that dude,
Like
I
I
thought
think
the
Mike
same.
Perry was like, I'm fighting for
He's
my
a dog.
paychecks. I'm fighting
Yeah.
for everything. You know.
He's like,
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
break your fist with my face.
yeah. And like
He's a
Luke's
beast.
like, I got a modeling career on the side.
he's
you
got
know?
the blue steel going.
Yeah. Well, a little more to
Didn't he
lose.
date Demi Lovato back in the day? I think he did. Pretty
I
sure
don't
he
know
did.
if I'd brag about that one, right?
Well, I think that was before she shaved her head and went fully woke. But
yeah.
yeah.
Didn't she she was a they them for a little bit, and then she
Oh, yeah.
renounced that. Yeah.
yeah. But I think that was after him.
Yeah.
I think he hit the eject button. He saw that coming down the road. But pretty sure he dated her back in the day. Andrew, can you look that up? You don't have to pull it up there. Just see if Demi Lovato and
Luke Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold dated. I don't know why I drew a blank on his name, but
Yeah. I've seen him. He's on that Jackson podcast quite a bit too.
is he?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about his work ethic in the gym and how good he. And listen, even in the, but he always fell a little short. I feel like, you know.
I mean, UFC champion.
What did he run Strike Force for a while, right? That was when that was all big.
Maybe Kim. No, I don't know. I mean, he was in Strikeforce for a little bit, but I mean, I don't know if he ran it. He was doing well. I think when he got to UFC, he went on the run. You
Yeah.
know, when he beat Wyman, he got the title.
Yeah.
Then he lost to
Bisping.
Bisping right after, right?
He talked a lot of shit.
I think he
How
was
gonna
overlooking
run.
Bisping
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
beat Bisping already.
Yeah.
And he's fighting Bisping on a short notice.
Yeah.
And I remember, what was it? Like they were about to touch gloves, and he's like, "No touch, no touching." And Bisping goes, "I'm gonna touch your fucking face."
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Bisping when he was in the Fight House, but when I became a fan of him, bro. He's that good. He just seemed like a British whiny dude in the house, but he backs it up. He's a great
No, he
fighter.
can bang, man. He's tough. He's tough.
Although my favorite fighter of all time, with the exception of Frankie Yeager, Dan Henderson did a number on him.
man.
Yeah, bro, he got him with
Hollywood
the
Henderson.
Hendo bomb.
When I first started fighting, 'cause I had a shaved head, you know, and Dan had a shaved head.
yeah.
They were calling me Hollywood Henderson.
Bro, people say it now in my comments. They're like, "Holy shit, that dude! Who's that next to you? Is that Dan Henderson?"
Yeah.
You do look a little Dan Henderson-ish. They dated, right? Yeah.
They dated. You jealous?
No. Wait,
You're into guys. With
yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. I knew that was coming. I can predict his lines.
You could do. We're like we finished each other's
Sentences. Sandwiches.
Oh man. So what year did you have to deal with COVID? What years of college?
So I finished wrestling. Like if I did because Ivy League, you got to go straight through
Right,
unless you
you
do
know,
like
no
a
red
gray,
shirt.
unless you do like
right.
the gray shirt, skip a year kind of thing. So like my true freshman year, I only wrestled like 10 matches or something, and then I started my next 3 at 84 and made it to the national tournament those 3 years. So if I did like red shirt, that was the year. If I made it to nationals, like
That
that
got
5th year, it
canceled?
got
Oh,
canceled.
wow.
So that was the year I did football at Sacred Heart, which is pretty cool. You know, it's cool to get back out there after 4 years of not doing it. Like originally, my plan like coming out of college was, high school was to like go football, and then like the Ivy League gave me the opportunities with wrestling. So my dad's like, hey, you should probably consider this, and like it all worked out, and then here we are today. We're doing MMA now, so it
Brown
worked
have
out.
football?
Yeah, so originally I was going to try to do both, and but I got the spot for like the way it works is like they give you an admission spot like academically and stuff, and so I got that through wrestling, and like football would have been like a secondary thing. So like basically the wrestling coach was like, hey, we're giving you the spot for wrestling, like you got to do this first, and then maybe we can consider it down the road. But then once I got into school, I'm like, this is a lot already. So like with the academic side, but then I was like, I found that opportunity. I'm like, I always wanted to do it in college, and Sacred Heart actually recruited me out the gate, and we had a lot of kids from my high school. I went to St. Joe's in Hamilton. They were on Sacred Heart at the time, so like it was cool. Like when I came in, it was like we had these twins that were on my team in high school. We had an O lineman. He's a left tackle. He's actually on the Panthers now. This kid JD, and one of the coaches was from my high school. So basically, it was like the college was like a next step for St. Joe. Like all of our kids were ended up there anyway, so it was like kind of cool to be reunited with the boys, and then like. I got, pretty good opportunities to like kind of get in the mix. Like I started on all special teams. I was in on some packages. It was really hard to learn like the schemes and stuff. Like I give those dudes credit, man. Like, it's hard to play fast when you're like trying to like focus on so many things. It's like that next level. It's not just like, oh, read the guard, chase the ball. It's like, it's.
Roger wouldn't be able to focus. He wouldn't be able to focus with all those packages going on.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's been a number of like high level crossover athletes. So Michael Jordan, right? He played baseball. And then he went. I mean, excuse me,
I guess
basketball.
he was still pretty good.
He pretty much owned the team.
You think? Like, how good was he? You think if he wasn't Michael Jordan, would he have made it even to the minors
In baseball?
Yeah.
I mean,
and
Bo Jackson.
He played.
Bo Jackson.
Sports,
They
right?
said Bo Jackson was probably the best athlete
ever.
He was
Ever.
my inspiration always,
Yeah.
like in high school and stuff. And
Yep.
like I even like was joking, like I got athlete of the year. I'm like, I want to do the picture with the baseball bat
Yeah,
and all this, the shoulder
yeah.
pad. So I kind of like that was always my, that's like I looked up to
He
that.
ripped his hamstring off his bone, right? Or something like that.
I think it was because he was too athletic.
Yeah, so
like, literally, they
explosive.
said,
Yeah.
I mean, prime time. He was.
Yeah,
That's right.
His
Yeah.
primetime played in
And he was.
in a like a playoff, 2 playoff games, like,
Yeah.
or a World Series in a playoff game, something like that.
Yeah, crazy.
Something crazy.
He's still like not obviously but he's still commentating and stuff, right?
No, he's the head coach at.
Oh, is he really?
He's Colorado.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's doing he's the NIL king right now, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, like, I mean, wrestling is not as big. I mean, we got some guys that
Some
are
guys
like,
are making money,
like the
but-
top of the top are, but like football, it's like, I mean, any starter like
Right.
is like potentially NIL deal. It's like, it's crazy. I mean, back when I was in college, if I ran a camp and put my name on it, I'd get in trouble.
yeah.
But like these guys are getting paid.
You know, that, right? You know what that means, right?
What?
NIL,
What is it?
name and likeness deal.
What do you mean for? Oh yeah, in college you can.
Yeah,
we were talking about
yeah.
Sebastian about it.
Yeah. Pretty much get paid nowadays.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Sebastian, there's another guy. We're just talking about COVID and how it affected stuff. I mean, that's a guy that basically got robbed of a national championship because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was trying, believe it or not. So like, I was talking to Leonardus over at Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
So like, my freshman year, I had a couple little injuries. I didn't have enough to get a medical though. I was like trying to get a medical. I'm like, I want to wrestle. I already invested in. I mean, the football thing was a cool idea, but like, I wanted to keep wrestling. I felt like if I had one more year, in my opinion, I was always right there. I was like round of 16. I was always chopping at the bit. This match kills me. You always had that one match that haunts you. Like,
I had a couple of
I had a few, but yeah, me and Max, like I was close with Dean, and like, I mean, that's a dude that like won nationals. He's always in the top 5, if not higher. I think he was a finalist, 2 or 3 time finalist, and it's like, I mean, I knew I was right with those guys. I just felt like I needed that like one more year. And I was still young. Like I was my last year at college in the NCAA tournament. I was only 21. Like some of these dudes are like 23, 24 now. So like I was even joking my first year coaching, because that was with everybody got COVID years and stuff. Our kid Mickey O'Malley, he was in the round of 12. He's wrestling Kemmerers, like older than me. He's like wrestling. I'm like, dude, this dude's older than me. This is weird. But like, so like, I just like, I was trying to get that medical year, but I'm like, hindsight's 2020. I'm like, hey, maybe that was for the better. Maybe at least I got the opportunity to do the other sports.
Right.
Because like I would have got canceled. Like the school would have got, you would have made it to NCAA's.
Perspective,
and then it got
right?
canceled.
Is everything, yeah.
So like those guys all qualified. Like we had a kid, we had McFadden's helps coach with Drexel, Dave McFadden. Yeah. And he was, I think, either like the 1 or 2 seed. Like they had seeded everybody.
Was he VTech? No,
VT. Yeah, he wrestled at DePaul in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so, like guys like that, it's like they had the brackets were set, like ready to rock. Like I think they like some of it was a week before, so like the D3 schools were actually at nationals and they canceled the tournament, and then like the NCAA's for D1 was the next weekend. So like they had the brackets were ready, and like literally like it's crazy, man. That would have it worked out that I wasn't part of it, because like that would have sucked.
Yeah, man. I don't want to. I said Frankie's going to be like, here we go, but we're not going to. I don't want to get political, but I'll never forget certain things.
Trucker Carlson. Trucker Carlson. Okay. Trucker Carlson's on the mic.
One of your better lines, actually. No, just COVID. I'll never forget what they fucking did to us. You know what I mean? I'll never forget 9/11, and I'll never forget COVID ever. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Cory Anderson's fight. He's a new world champion.
World champ, Bellator lightweight, heavyweight,
obviously,
lightweight champ, light heavyweight,
light heavyweight champ.
Definitely not lightweight.
Obviously,
I can
you were
vouch for
over
that.
there. You were in his corner, battling a little illness. I hear in your voice still, but
No, a little sinus thing going.
little sinus thing. But how was that whole experience? I mean,
It was amazing,
I
man.
watched the fight.
It was awesome. Me and Nick flew out. We got out there, I think, on Wednesday. He fought Friday evening. Frankie Perez was out there.
Yeah,
so it was so
yeah.
cool to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Ricardo was out there. Mark came out, fight day. And, yeah, man, great performance from Cory.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Watching it, obviously you're there in person, and it's a totally different experience watching it on TV. But there was a couple moments. He got at the first round. He got one head kick that got through, one other head kick that looked like it could have affected him a little bit, and then he got in that deep arm bar. And I think that was
very scary.
round 3. I was like, holy fuck! But great scramble by him.
Yeah, no, it's just super scary. That arm bar was scary because he went to get out, and it was like, okay, he's out. But it's like, oh my God, there's defense. He's not out. And then he was stuck again. It was like, oh, and then it was like, okay, he was out. It was like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That was deep.
Couple
deep.
tight asshole pinches in that
Yeah.
one.
How'd you feel about the officiating there with the?
Yeah, the guy was horrible, man. Horrible. I hate referees that get involved.
I mean, I've never seen.
He was saying Corey's headbutt him. First, the guy was bumping him up, and Cory was posting his head because otherwise he would have fell over.
Yeah.
And dude, you grapple with your face. I grapple my face. Even I leave Monday, I have marks all over my face because you got to use your head to grapple.
Whoever the commentators were saying that was a good call by the ref. That was a
Really?
good call. I heard him say that.
I mean,
yeah.
they were leaning on that Nemkov situation with
Right.
the head clash thing,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they were
Yeah.
like still going back to that. It's like they.
It's bullshit, dude. Come on.
Yep.
So yeah,
You need to get more former fighters as ref is what you need to do.
I've never seen so many separations just in general. Like, I mean, these guys. I mean, UFC, you rarely see it.
No.
I mean, I actually saw one the other day, just like watching one of those fight nights or something. But it was like, I felt like it was reasonable, But like, I mean, even when it's like a dead stop, like if the ref's gonna let it work,
Right.
But like, I mean, you earn that position. Like,
Speaking of that, you know who I saw recently? He's probably been doing it for a while, but recently I saw him. Frank Trigg is reffing now. He's a former
We've been doing it
fighter.
for quite a bit now. I think.
Yeah.
Few years at least. Yeah.
How was the? And that dude was from Belfast, right?
He
Or
was,
like,
yeah.
How was that? The,
Moore was his last name. Carl Moore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Call more. I was like, of course, I'm like, man, you
Oh.
you was from Belfast, man. You more like from Bel Slow.
That's great, dude. I got to hear about this. And I said to you when you told me we're going to talk about it on the podcast.
No.
Let it fly. Let it fly. You
All right,
almost got into a fight after.
Not really. It was. I mean, it was just we got into it with the Irish crowd.
Well, they're passionate, bro.
So-
over there, they're passionate.
So this is way after the fight though, like because we were in the cage taking pictures. He was the last fight. So we're in the cage taking pictures. Most of the crowd left. So now we're walking back into the back. Me and Cory pretty much walking up here, and Perez is behind me. Mark and Ricardo are like in the cage still talking to Jenny. So we're walking out. And I hear some dude like, oh, you don't like to stand, Cory? You don't like to box? You don't like to box? Kind of playful, but you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah. I was like, why'd you come back here, motherfucker? I'll show you how to box. And it was like, it was kind of like,
Yeah, that sounds playful.
It was, well, no, but in my voice, I was like, hey, come over here, motherfucker. I'll show you how to box. Ah! And the guy smiled. I smiled. It wasn't like, But then I guess someone was behind him, was fucking really jawing at Cory. And Frankie said, what? And Perez got pissed and starts going over to jump over the thing. And I guess security grabs him. And I had my rubber gloves in my hand still. And I ran over, dude. This dude didn't know what I had in my hand. And I macked it right off his face. And he was like, oh, he thought I had like a fucking bottle or something. Or I was throwing a punch. I was like, oh. And then some security guy grabbed me. And I'm fucking threw his hands off. I'm like, get the fuck, don't touch me. Don't touch me. He's like, whoa, relax. I'm like, I'm relaxed. Just don't touch me. I hate when people they grab you to say relax. Like, dude, I'm chill.
Right.
Don't touch me.
I agree with that.
You grab me. Then I'm not gonna relax.
Yep.
But it was it was all cool. The guy was like, oh man, we almost got me. So yeah, it was fun. That was a fun part.
Making memories.
Yeah,
Making memories.
One Frankie goes, the other one's gotta go.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's good to see Cory get that though. He's definitely worked hard
Corey's
for
one
it,
of the-
bro. He's such a good dude. Hardest worker in the room.
One of the
always.
hardest workers. One of the most persistent people I know, and I consider myself a persevering motherfucker. And man, I'm so happy for him. The good guy finally got his roses, or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
I tell this story. I don't know if you know the story. Me, my son, my two sons, we came back, come to my father-in-law's house. Cory was living there. we wrestled that day. Corey's like, hey boys, how'd you do today?
This is like very early on in his
how'd
career.
you do today? Tino, my kids are young.
Yeah.
Tino's like, I took second. And he's like, how'd you do, Frankie? He's like, good. Like, good. He's like, you go 1-1, 2-1, you know.
King of accents over here.
And I'm like,
I was waiting for the Irish accent for the fight.
Oh wait.
That'll be next.
Yeah. And I'm like, we didn't win a match, Core, you know. And he's like, that's all right. He's like, I started wrestling your age. He's like, I didn't win a match from 10th grade. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, he's in 3rd grade. He's like, yep, I know. He wrestled from 3rd grade to 10th grade without winning a match.
That's
7
the
years of
definition
losing
of
matches. That's
resilience,
amazing.
man.
That's amazing because I would have broke a long time ago, and I would have been like Roger saying, "Well, my school didn't offer wrestling." You know what I mean? That's what I would have been like.
What did you want me to go out on the lawn and just start challenging people?
I mean, if anything,
A varsity letter in
teaches
fly
you, man.
fishing, though, you fucking cockroach.
Like
And log rolling.
Wrestling humbles you real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I started around like 4th grade ish. You know, like my brother did it first. He was always big kid. He was like a heavyweight. He's the lineman in the family. And like I always did the other sports. I was successful in them, and I started wrestling. I was a little bigger, being a little, still a little kid, but I was bigger for like the age. So I have to wrestle like maybe I'm 4th grade. I'm wrestling like 6th graders. I'm gonna get my ass beat, and it's just like I said, humbles you real quick,
yeah.
man. Like you learn, like you get thrown in the fire, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think everybody should get a taste of it at one point, you know.
I would think that it builds something in you where you're either going to be a quitter right off the bat, like Corey, or like your example, or you're going to say, I'm going to figure out a way to beat these guys, and you're going against bigger, stronger people, so it makes you better, right?
Yep.
Makes you better. So,
But yeah, that story's crazy, man. Corey, just keep on the grind, man.
And
And,
then, I mean,
and even
took
like
what,
his
he
college, his college career, he started
Yeah.
in junior college, and then he moved up.
Right, and took
then
what? Runner-up,
took second.
D2 national.
Yeah, so like,
And then a world champion.
now he's world champ. I mean, that's what's cool.
Tough
about
champ,
it.
world champ.
Yep.
You know? I mean, come on. There's nothing you can't do.
he's
Don't
pretty.
listen to nobody.
He's pretty. I was going to say he's a pretty accomplished hunter too. But weren't you supposed to do a trip with him to go pig hunting? Like,
yeah, he told me about it. I wish, but that's the night I
fell
got
through?
inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
You know, or
Gotcha.
they announced it. Yeah.
we got to do that. We got
Dude,
a bunch of
he
offers
went.
to go.
I don't even want to. Well, I don't know. Whatever. He went with dogs and harpoons and knives. You know what I'm saying?
Pete is coming after you.
Bro, I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat the pig.
Bro, I ate a goldfish one time and PETA came after me.
Who's PETA?
PETA. Yeah, no, very happy for Corey though. That's amazing,
dude. Another thing I did. I'm gonna tell you about this.
Sure.
I hosted a block at the Garden State Film Festival. Dude, I literally haven't slept in fucking days. I mean,
sound like it.
I had the
Sound
past
like
couple
it.
days because I was in Ireland, a mess. You know, the whole time difference and doing this and
Did you go to
congestion.
that? Did you go to that gay bar?
What was you remember the name of it?
No.
Were you really serious though?
Dude,
right?
that's
Dude, you wanna
that's a
know
good
something?
story. I went there
Yo,
with Justin Bieber.
yo,
True
yo,
story.
yo,
And Selena Gomez. True story.
That's funny.
They said we're going to a strip club, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go. We jumped into a van with a ton of people, security, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez. I don't know how this happened, bro. And this is the truth. Frankie's going to be like, yeah, sure, you slipped the driver at 20. I don't know how this happened, but we walk in. It's a fucking gay strip club. It's not a strip club like I thought.
Bunch of
Wait,
leprechauns
was it a
running
strip
around.
club or no? Just a gay bar, you mean?
I don't.
Probably just to get
there
good
was,
though, 'cause in
no, there was
Belfast-
dudes
But
up
listen-
on the bar. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, they said there are no titty bars in Belfast because of the Protestant versus Catholic thing. Protestants are super religious,
Right.
and they don't allow that stuff supposedly. But it's funny. Frankie was asking.
Not
the-
Catholics. They'll settle for little
Yeah,
boys.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly. No, but Frankie was asking a guy like, "Hey, you know, where's a place to go to, like a nightclub or something?" He's like, "There's one bar, but it's a gay bar."
That's what happened to us, bro.
He's like, oh, brother, that's a gay bar.
That's what happened. But me and Frankie said, "No,
Come on.
we're good."
Can't give me the accent.
What's the address?
Dude,
I drove. Get in.
get in.
So anyway,
So it's you, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gay
And
bar.
bro, and he's like 14, 15 at the time.
Dude, you're like
And-
Puff
they're
Daddy,
all- they're
bro.
probably
He's
all-
like P
Yeah.
Diddy. He's like P Diddy.
Get the plane ready. Diddy, you left me.
Like
You
Justin
left me.
Bieber, get
Dude.
over here.
What is
Justin Bieber,
bro,
you motherfucker.
bro,
What are you doing with that big lad over there?
what is going on with fucking Diddy? That's crazy, bro. He fucking fled the country.
Dude, yeah, let's not let. All right, let's,
No, you don't want to get into that? All right.
No, we'll save it for a different
Okay.
day.
All right.
I still need
well,
the whole
well,
story because
well,
I'm still like,
well,
I don't
dude,
even get
we'll
into
We'll put it
but,
out. We'll put it out a month from now
Pause
when it's
that.
not relevant at all. Yeah. Good idea, Frankie. Great idea.
Well, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I
The
mean,
other
I don't-
the other big thing in the news, I mean, that's, one's like
the fucking bridge.
The bridge, bro, in Baltimore.
Dude, did you
That's
see
crazy.
the fuck? It looks like the thing steered right into it.
Yeah, but there's somebody explaining it. There's all lights. I follow this dude, Luke McFadden. He's a crab fisher in Chesapeake Bay. But he's like, if you watch this, you see the lights go out on the ship. Then you see the lights. So it's like the ship lost power.
Okay,
and then the lights come back on.
Some people are saying this is an attack.
That sounds like
There's cyber attack. They fucking attacked the thing, turned it off. Cyber attack.
Who said that, Jesse?
No, I'm just seeing people online. I'm not saying it's true or not. Again, we have a disclaimer of the video before the video. A disclaimer saying we don't know what we're talking about. Trucker Carlson, he likes to weigh in and say some crazy shit, but it might not be true.
Now, listen, regardless, and they don't even know what the body count. They don't know what the death toll was yet because they don't know how many cars. It happened at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. They don't know how many cars were on the bridge. There was
20 cars. They said 7 people are missing.
There was actually a crew up there working at the time. Everybody went in the water. The water's like 45 degrees or something. So, yeah, sad, tragedy, but
a lot of crazy shit going on.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
they crashed into the bridge to make us stop thinking about Diddy.
I mean, though.
I don't know. Wouldn't be the craziest thing I've ever
heard. The way
heard.
the bridge went, though, was what blew my mind. I mean, because the thing hit, and like this side of the other side of the bridge went down. Like that's why I was like.
They say that what I read is the part it hit is like one of the bigger bases of it.
Yeah.
And it's a 1.5 mile bridge.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main structures.
And the ship that hit it is absolutely massive, bro. So I mean, it makes sense that it would, pretty much take the whole thing down.
But how, is that the only way to get across the Chesapeake? You know what I mean? Like, how important is that roadway for us?
roadway?
That roadway.
Right? Is it a roadway? It's not a roadway.
Waterway?
It's a waterway?
Yes.
It's a road across the fucking water.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're
bridge,
talking
not
about
the
the bridge. I thought you were
Yeah,
talking
fucking
about
bridge, bro.
I thought you were talking about the ship. Okay,
No.
all right. I'm with you now. I'm with you, Gotcha.
Come
Gotcha,
on,
pal.
come on.
I got you. I don't know, but now, I mean, both are down. You can't, boats or cars
Wait,
can't go that way.
because the boat's it's in the way.
Bridges,
Oh,
you
wow.
can't-
So
there's
that's
no boat traffic going
that's
through.
even
Yeah,
more.
yeah. Because that's probably a shipping lane.
That's
yeah,
probably more detrimental to us than even the road thing. 'Cause the road we get around, obviously.
I don't think environmentally there was a big spill or anything of that nature. I think obviously the people that are missing is the most concerning, but that ship is probably going to be there for a month. They gotta somehow figure out how they're going to bring in probably massive barges. But I know the Chesapeake Bay is ridiculously shallow.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a channel down the middle where those big ships can go, but it's not very deep.
Like how?
Like how? Yeah, great reference.
They said it's going to be like 5 to 6 years before they could rebuild that.
Oh,
bridge.
I believe
5
it.
to 6 years we
And
can
that's a
rebuild it.
major,
It was
like-
built in 1977.
Yeah, and that's like a major shipping lane.
Mm.
Like it's like I don't know if it's the biggest, but outside of like New York, like New Jersey.
Wow.
And
We're gonna get fucked.
It's down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
fuck
one of
us,
the
of
main,
course.
Like, one of the main arteries up this way, like besides 95. So
Mm.
it's bad.
We're not gonna get food now.
No.
Watch.
Yeah, it'll be some bullshit like that.
We have
Prices
to eat fucking bean burgers.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
But they said that the ship put out a mayday, and the cops like shut off the traffic in both directions. So
Well-
it limited like what the casualties would have been, but there was still the crew and there were
Right.
still cars, a couple. So
You see the video, obviously it's at nighttime, but you see headlights going over. I didn't see any at the exact moment it hit, so maybe it's possible.
Some people are
they
trying to
just-
say, "Oh, there's detonation. Look at the detonation."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people are saying it's an electric wire going across it. There would be an arc when the wire breaks.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, listen, you're always going to deal with that. And I'm not saying that maybe some of them aren't warranted, but in this case, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that suspect of a terrorist. It seems like if it was a terrorist attack and they wanted to, have mass casualties and mass deaths, there's
Time.
way better ways to do it than that.
Wouldn't
you
it be
know?
at 3 a.m.?
No, I think it's something with the shipping stuff. I would think that. I mean, listen, if it is,
Well, they said the same thing when they had the ship stuck sideways across, what was that, the Suez Canal or the Panama Canal or whatever canal it was. And there was all these conspiracy theories that there were,
through like a penis.
it was
Like, it did-
there was they were smuggling like little kids in it, and it was connected to the Clintons. And again, disclaimer: we don't claim any of this is true. Or
They said like Hillary's code name when she was.
yes, yeah,
Evergreen.
Evergreen. Yes, yeah. That's it.
That's a Jesse's question.
yeah,
That's right. If we got no food, you guys are gonna be eating carnivore. Right?
Yeah,
Drinking
exactly.
Straight
Exactly.
carnivore.
Beef protein, baby. Beef
Blood.
it
protein.
is. It's no lactose either.
There you go.
So no farting. Right, Rod?
Something gay is going to come out of your mouth next. I know it.
Well, we can't really hear Roger fart.
Just the air escapes naturally. It's a gape. It's a gape. I say, does he talk like this to you? Does he get angry and fucking make fun of you all the time? Because you know he actually likes you if he does that. Because I see, like, I thought it was just me. I'm like, this dude fucking don't like me. But I see Marky Lee come down here and he fucking rides in. Frankie can never be wrong, ever. He's always got to be right about everything. So
Yeah, I don't like you though. So.
yeah, I know. And he has no empathy. Zero.
What's empathy mean?
Empathy means that you
Is
can
it like
be
the
remorse for
did you
a
ever
loss.
watch what's the show? Guardians of the Galaxy? The one with the ears that go out, the antennas.
I didn't watch that. I'm straight.
She's an empath, right?
Yeah, she like feels
She
your emotions.
feels what you feel.
Yeah.
Is that what you are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very emotional.
You are.
Emotional creature.
I'm sad.
Don't make me tell the dog in the pool story again. People will hate you. Peter will hate you more.
Dog in a pool.
Dog in the pool story? You don't know what I'm talking about? Chris's dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just made him feel better. Made my buddy feel better.
His buddy's dog fell in the pool, and he calls him up, and he's got little kids that are like crying and all distraught, and calls Frankie up to be like, dude, fucking dog fell in the pool, man. My kids are like, distraught. Frankie's like, you didn't like that fucking dog anyway.
Nothing. No hesitation.
I said, bro, you fucking pushed that thing in the pool.
Fell in the pool,
That's
man.
horrible.
Shit.
Oh, man. So, CJ, you got a girl?
Nah, I'm flying solo, man.
Solo.
Oh, well, listen, tell the ladies where they can DM you. You're a good looking dude. They'll be sliding right in
No,
there.
but I'm saying, never, like, you had a girl before or anything like that?
Nothing like official.
No, serious?
Yeah, nothing crazy. Yeah. Just
Is
You
it-
out,
is
chasing,
it-
you ain't chasing poon? Are you a chaser?
Nah, just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Stay in my lane.
Stay folk. I'm just saying, 'cause sometimes that could distract
Be a
you.
distraction
Yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
Sometimes
yeah.
a girl
It-
keeps you grounded,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh,
I mean,
for
it
sure. in
definitely,
your
I
case.
feel like
Not multiple ones, though. Or crazy ones.
get some motivation from it, right? We gotta stay in shape, right?
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. I feel like if I just do all the right stuff, and the right thing will come along, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
You do see that happening to some guys, not just in MMA. Obviously, when they rise to fame or whatever, they see who was it? I saw. God, why am I drawing a blank on his name? I suck with names. The Russian dude, when he first came on the scene, he used to wear the mouthpieces with the teeth.
Yeah, Andrei
Arlovsky. I remember seeing an interview with him where he was like, because he came on the scene like blistering, knocking people out, right? Back when he had the hairy shoulders and shit. Remember when he first came on the scene?
Yeah.
And he said, I just rose to fame so quickly, I couldn't handle it. I was like out at, drinking and the women and all this. And then he got refocused. And that dude is still fighting
still
and still
fighting,
doing
yeah.
well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The beast.
He is a
I mean,
beast.
it's definitely like that's why I gotta stay away. Like my apartment's sick, but like I gotta be careful up there. Like I got like the pools and stuff. Like summer's dangerous. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Women, weakened legs, rock.
That's right. We live by that, baby, Nick. But yeah, it's just gotta try to stay locked in.
Straight and narrow. Straight and
Yeah.
narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a good question, Franklin. What else you got?
I'm saying, I'm just trying to steer the young man in the
No,
right
that's true.
direction.
That's true.
all.
That's
right.
That's all. You got a bright future ahead. Just gotta make the right choices in life.
Amen. Amen.
This shit ain't forever.
Yeah.
You gotta make the best of it.
Yep. For sure. No, I mean that's it. We gotta just keep chasing it. And
When did you start your fighting career, Frankie? Obviously, you had the one amateur fight in New York, right?
one amateur fight back then.
I-
what was an
well, it
amateur
wasn't
fight
amateur.
like
It
back
wasn't
when you
amateur.
start? I was
It was
like,
unsanctioned fight. There was no rules. I headbutt the dude.
Doesn't count on your
No,
record.
no ambulance, no doctors, no nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But then your next fight,
Was my first pro fight.
how old were you?
26.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Right on
26
pace.
had my first pro fight. I think I just turned 26.
There you go.
Or no, 24. I'm sorry. 24, first pro fight.
Well, it's not your first. You've got 3 under your belt, so you guys are right there.
24, first pro fight. Down UFC 26. UFC champion 28.
Crazy.
Different ball game back then too, though.
Yeah. How so? I mean, I know how, but
Well, I'm just saying. I just it's hard to jump that high
Right.
as quick. I think
Right.
nowadays. I mean, although you see that one dude that's fighting Pantoja, Edberg or Esberg, I don't know his name, something Epberg or something like that. But he's on his third fight in UFC and he's fighting for the title. So
Well, Bo Nichols rising pretty fast.
Yeah, but he also didn't have. He got his. What do you have? 2 fights? I think it's contender fight. We had 1 fight, and then 2 contender fights, and then UFC.
Yep.
I was like 5-0. I got into UFC. Still, I'm pretty much had my career in the UFC. Nowadays, I think kids.
Doesn't Bo have a big fight coming up, or did you just have?
No, he's fighting on 300.
main card.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Brunage or something like that. You know the guy he's fighting.
Not too familiar, to be honest.
Decent. It's probably the best guy he's fought so far.
Yeah.
Hands down. I don't think he's fought anybody that great yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
This dude, we'll say this be
me and my buddy had me tweet talking about social media. He's like, you should post something because I think his like opponent dropped out like the week of. He fought that Woburn dude.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the guy delivering my garbage.
I was feeling confident. I just had my first pro fight. I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna tweet, and like everybody's like, it actually picked up some traction. I'm like, imagine if they pulled that.
No shit.
I'm like,
I feel like you got to do something. Listen, you got to take chances. I remember, Cory Anderson. He was influenced, I guess. I remember him telling us they kind of influenced a little bit to start calling people out. Remember, he showed up at one of John Jones's.
And he didn't say a word. Dante said everything.
Hey,
no, I saw Cory talking shit.
Stuff,
I saw the video of it.
Cory's like, hey,
he's yelling through the cage.
Mr. Jones, excuse me, sir.
Was Dante talking shit? Was he?
Shit, yeah.
This mic keeps cutting out. That's funny. That's typical Dante, though.
That's what Dante said. He said, hey, you take me down in the wrestling match, you go in the cage, that's different.
Yeah.
Fucking stab you, motherfucker.
Yeah, he would, too. He would.
Oh, shit.
Funny.
Well, CJ, let us know. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yeah, man.
Ladies, don't. He's focused. Don't fucking slip into his DMs. You don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I was laughing. I actually CFFC. I lost my Instagram for like a week, and I was like, dude, I built all them followers, bro. I don't know what to do. I don't have that many, but I had like 5,000 or something. I'm like, shit.
Did you have that single password thing? That's how everybody loses it.
No,
you got hacked.
It was like a CFFC. Like they said, I like copyright posted, and then like they fixed it for me. Like they're like, no, you're good. I'm like, all right, sweet. But but it's like I think it's under CJ LaFragola, like CJ_LaFragola, mainly on Instagram. Right. I did start a TikTok. I know what a government, but I did it because I got a couple of people that were trying to do like collab posts. Like I got a couple of people out in Philly. It's like Club 215. They're like they put on like events and stuff. So we were doing like collab posts. That's how I found out my Instagram was whack. And then like that's when it like got pulled off. But it was like we were doing like this collab thing. One of my good friends, this girl Ange, she kicks like field goals. That's like her whole like social media thing. And
that blonde chick that cranks them from like
she's a beast
from like the 50-yard line.
Yeah, so like that's how it all started. Cause we did this thing together.
Famous like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, so we're they're Girls on the Fly, and then Club 215 is like their counterpart. They're all out of Philly. They're my
that
boys.
girl could get you distracted.
That's right. She's tied down, so that's good. That helps. All right. But yeah, like so, like we did the field goal thing together, and like that's when I found out my Instagram was whack, and then I fixed it after that. But like that's the only reason I started the TikTok and all that because she wanted to help me post and stuff. So
listen,
like,
it's all part of a bigger picture. Even if you're not into it, it's part of the game that you got to kind of play, right?
I don't mind it. Like I've been messing around. Like I mean, like the other thing I've been trying to like. I mean, I know so much about training and like lifting and doing 3 sports in college. Like I've been around every kind of like lifting and strength and conditioning. So like I've been even messing around making like workout plans and stuff.
Online mentoring,
that's like the next I feel like step. Like while fighting, it's like that's something you can do, and it doesn't like necessarily have to be on a schedule. So like that's kind of like something I've been looking into, like kind of helping people out with like strength and conditioning and stuff. People always ask me, I'm like, why don't I just like make a little business out of it? Gotta find a way.
There's a large group of young men, talking about younger than you, even your age though, that want to be mentored on just how to be a man, like an alpha. There's guidance because there's we live in a world of wussies now. I mean, you and I talked about it one time. Like you could literally build a website and just teach young men how to be more masculine, and you'd probably get a big following.
I have some ideas.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Some ideas.
Andrew Tate kind of does that. You know what I mean? So, didn't he have an institution for a while? What was it called? Do you remember?
Yeah, school.
Something institute where it was essentially that, teaching young men how to be more masculine.
Frankie's gonna bring him down with his bare knuckle, with his brass knuckles, and just put him on the wrestling mat over here and say, "All right, time to man up."
I don't make you bully proof. I build bullies.
There you go. What's Jordan Peterson say? Best thing a man can be is a savage, but learn how to control it, or something like that.
That dude's about as far.
I get it. But I say it all the time. Don't you think? Don't you think? I'll call him on our side, for lack of a better way of putting it. Don't you think our side needs
your side, maybe
intellectuals? We do. We need well-spoken people too. I think Tim Kennedy would be the greatest example of a man's man, in my opinion.
That's his king. Yeah, he's beast.
That dude is
he's
badass.
Top of the food chain
in every aspect. He's intellectual.
Did you ever hear the story he was saying? I heard this recently. It popped up on social media or something. It was like ISIS or somebody was like going to come after him.
Had a bounty.
He's like,
he
basically like calls the FBI calls him. He's like, "Oh, great, this is awesome."
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait, you're ISIS is coming to attack me?" He's like, "Please."
I feel like, and we had him on our show. We Zoom interviewed him, but I feel like there's dudes that tell stories. You're always like, kind of like some of these stolen valor dudes that are like. I believe everything that dude says. I believe everything that dude said. He's just built that way.
He probably don't even tell us the real stuff.
No, I'm sure he don't.
You know what I mean?
I believe him.
Yeah.
He's just built different.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So,
all right, CJ. No, April 12th.
April 12th.
Get tickets, guys.
Oh, UFC Fight Pass.
Yep, UFC Fight Pass, and I always say do AC.
Yeah. Come down if you can to the Hard Rock.
Hard Rock.
Be out there.
I'm gonna see
I'll
if
be
I
out
can
there.
get.
I'm in Mark's corner.
Renee, you want to watch my kids April 12th?
I was just looking for a babysitter. Taking applications.
Yeah.
A babysitter and maybe a masseuse.
Yes.
If you dual action, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You don't even have to be Asian.
Rub no tug.
He just wants to tug, no rub.
I think I went to one of those one time and I didn't know it was one of those.
You didn't know.
I didn't
Turn
know.
over on your back.
I didn't know until I heard the girl. She was giving the worst massage ever. So obviously, like I was like, oh, this is a little weird. Something's up here. And then I heard like the little they tie the bell to the door when the door opens. So you hear the. She's like, 1 minute, I'll be back. Goes out and I hear whispering, and then I hear her say, "Go take clothes off, next room or whatever." And this dude's. I was like, just finish up and I'm good. I'll see you later. The girl was like 50.
50, wow. Yeah. Chapped hands probably. Would have been a rough ride.
I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because she was standing on my back.
Oh, yeah?
She was walking on my back.
Chapped feet? All right, CJ, thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, yeah,
brother.
You
got to sign a board before you get out of here.
Absolutely.
All right,
appreciate it.
Right,
yeah, brother. Guys, just a reminder, don't forget to find and follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms.